Hello everyone, welcome back to our Complete ABAP plus HANA course on Srijan Institute and Training Center YouTube channel. So till now we have seen the various concepts of data dictionary. Now in this part we are going to see a very beautiful topic which is table buffering. Now what is the meaning of buffer? So buffer is nothing but a temporary storage on the application layer. Now let's take a real life example so that we can relate it with our recipe. So suppose we are watching a movie and the movie is buffered and somehow we pause the movie in the middle because of some reason. But since the movie is buffered, we can start it right from the place when it was stopped. But if the movie is not buffered, we will have to start it from the beginning only. So in this situation, the concept of buffering plays a very crucial role so that if you want to start the movie at the time where you paused it, you will be able to achieve the requirement. In the real life example, for example, when you go to a theater to watch any movie, there is a tea break time at the middle of the movie. So what you do there, the movie is stopped and you go for lunch. And once you return from the lunch, you can start the movie at the same time when it was paused. So how you are able to achieve that? Because your movie is buffered and you are able to load the next part of the movie right from the part where it was stopped. So here the buffering comes into the picture. It is a temporary storage on the application layer and we can store our data right on the application layer so that we are not required to directly go to the database to fetch the record. Now what is the importance of buffer? So sometimes we need to access a particular set of records more frequently than others. So accessing records directly from a database table can be very time consuming. Suppose you have to fetch a million records from your database on a regular basis. So you are directly hitting the database and it is directly going to increase the time. So to reduce the time that is going to take to fetch the data from the database, what we can do is we can directly store the frequently accessed data on our application layer, and once we will be required to fetch the records, we will directly go to our application layer and we will fetch our record. So accessing record directly from the database table can be very time consuming, and to overcome this drawback, the frequently accessed records of a table can be placed in a buffer from which they can be accessed easily. So once your records are placed directly into the buffer, you will be able to fetch those records easily. So overall what buffer is going to do, it will improve the performance when accessing the data records contained in the table. Let's take an example. Suppose in our employee table, let's open our employee table. Yeah, EMP tab. So this was the employee table that we have created. Now, wait a minute. Employee underscore tab. Yeah, this was the table that we have created. Now, if I have to fetch the records from this table, if I am going to write any query to fetch the records from this table, what my compiler is going to do, it will go to my database and it will bring those data to our application layer. But if a million record is there and I have to fetch those records on a daily basis, so it is directly going to increase the time and it is directly going to decrease the performance of my HANA database. So to increase the performance, what we can do, we can directly store those frequently accessed data on the application layer so that we can increase the efficiency of our system. So where is buffering option available in a table? So simply go to technical setting, go to the technical setting part, and here you can see the buffering option. There are 3 radio buttons for buffering: buffering not allowed, buffering allowed but switched off, and then the third one which is buffering activated. After that what you can see is there is a buffering time, One is single record buffered, then the second one is generic area buffered, and the third one is fully buffered. So accordingly, if you are going to select these radio buttons, you can use this buffering type. So let's discuss this buffering and buffering type, how we are going to use them. So what are the various buffering options available? You can clearly see here we have got three buffering options: buffering not allowed, buffering allowed but switched off, and the third one is buffering activated. So if buffering is not allowed, table buffering is not performed for the table. If you are not allowed the if you are not allowing the buffering, table buffering will not perform for the table. And if you are using this buffering activated, table buffering will be performed for the table. Then the third one we have is buffering allowed but switched off. So if buffering is allowed but it is switched off, this simply means that currently it is switched off and it can be switched on any time according to the requirement of the customer. So if my customer want after a certain period of time that simply is please switch on the buffering, you can select this radio button, which simply means that it is allowed but currently it is switched off because we do not have the requirement of our buffering. And what we can do is whenever there will be a requirement, we can directly activate our buffering. So we can go to change mode of the table and select any one of the buffering options according to our requirement. Now, how many types of buffering? So first one is single record buffering, then the second one is fully buffering, and the third one we have is generic area buffering. So let's start with this single record buffering and let's discuss it in detail. So in case of single record buffering, single records loads in the buffer at a time. At a time what you are going to see, a single record will be loading into your buffer at a time. And when we are going to use this single record, so single record buffering should be used for tables where single records are accessed by specifying the complete key. Now what is the meaning of complete key? If you are going to see my table, this one is my table here. Simply click on back button. You can see employee ID is my complete key. So if I am going to fetch the record on the basis of employee ID, I will get the complete data, I will get the complete record for the particular employee ID. So your primary key is your complete key. And when to use single record buffer should be used for tables where single records are accessed by specifying the complete key. So when we are going to fetch the records by using our complete key, that is primary key, then we can use this concept of single record buffering. And what is the advantage of this single record buffering? So the advantage of single record buffering is this type of buffering requires less memory on application layer. So this requires a very less amount of memory on the application layer. And one disadvantage we already have for the single record buffering is there is not significant reduction in number of database access. So this one is a disadvantage of single record buffering, that there will not be any reduction in the number of database access. So this type buffering requires less memory on application layer. And one of the biggest disadvantage of single record buffering is there is not significant reduction in number of database access, because here you can see when you are going to fetch record directly and one record will be loading into buffer. Now if you are going to fetch the another record, it will not be in your buffer, so you will have to directly go to the database to fetch that particular record. So this is a disadvantage, that number of database reduction, number of database access is not going to reduce, but it will take less amount of memory on application layer. So this will be one of the advantage of your single record buffering. So this is all about for this video. In the next part we will practically see the implementation of our buffering. Thank you very much.